More often than not, strengthening is attempted the wrong way. That's because to strengthen intelligently, in a way that actually benefits your body, it takes a lot of research knowledge. That's why in this video, the first thing we're going to strengthen is your brain. First and foremost, performing the wrong amount of sets and reps is one of the biggest mistakes and a surefire way to fail. I recommend 4 sets of 12 reps, that's 4 dozens, with a 2.5 minute rest break, performed 3 days a week on non-consecutive days for each muscle group. The reason I like this rep scheme is because it produced the greatest strength gains in a massive meta-analysis. And other research shows that higher reps, like 12 reps over 8 reps, leads to less risk of injury. And while you want to gain strength, you don't really want to sacrifice your body in the process. Next, you want to know which muscles to target. And it's a little known secret that strengthening certain muscles will provide a therapeutic benefit to the body, while strengthening other muscles will actually break the body down. For example, there's a massive amount of therapeutic research that shows strengthening the upper trap can throw off movement mechanics of the shoulder and lead to joint issues. So all those people in the gym performing shoulder shrugs are doing their shoulders a great disservice, where they should be strengthening their mid and lower traps instead, which would provide a therapeutic benefit to the shoulders and decrease risk of injury. What's important to note is that all over the body, there are certain muscles that are good to strengthen and certain muscles that are bad to strengthen, and it's important to know which is which. Here's a quick list of what I recommend you attempt to target. The anterior deltoid, teres minor, mid and lower trapezius, and serratus anterior muscles will provide a protective benefit to the shoulder by relieving stress put on the rotator cuff muscles. You should always target your core musculature with endurance as opposed to strength training. Isometric endurance work is far more beneficial to spinal health when compared to the more popular alternatives like sit-ups and leg raises. Your glutes and your quadriceps, specifically your vastus medialis, will help enhance the health of your hips and knees, as well as your low back. And your tibialis anterior is great for the health of your ankle. According to the research, if you isolate these muscles, you're going to gain strength while simultaneously improving the health of your joints. Now, it's not easy to isolate these muscles. It takes a lot of knowledge of EMG research. But on my website, ptrehabdoc.com, I have workouts that are specific to these muscle groups. Link in the description below. Next, you want to move through a plane of motion that creates the optimum amount of joint space. What I mean to say is that certain directions of motion with certain amounts of joint rotation are actually going to close down on that space within the joint, creating excess friction and wear and tear within the joint. You want to incorporate what's called the open pack position of the joint. For example, with the shoulders, it's best to perform motions with the arms about a yardstick apart from each other and the thumbs pointed up. Basically, having the thumbs pointed up is going to externally rotate the shoulders, opening up the joint space and decreasing risk of injury. You can remember this by thinking thumbs up to shoulder health. And you want to think like this throughout the body, because each joint has an open pack position that you should incorporate into your movements. Next, you want to think about the amount of weight you're using, your depth of movement, and your speed of motion. Let's consider squatting. With squats, more weight, lower depth, and slower movement speeds will increase strength gains. However, those first 2 options also sacrifice your knees with increased compression forces. So it's a better idea to go down slow, not low, and use less weight, but concentrate. You come back up at a normal speed, but on the way down, you go slow, not low. This increases strength gains by stressing the muscle metabolically instead of stressing the health of your knees, and that's an intelligent way to strengthen. Again, you need to think like this throughout your entire body. You also need to be incorporating the open pack position here and targeting muscles that actually benefit the joint. Lastly, blood flow restriction training is an amazing option, but I'm not going to go over that in this video. So to recap, You need to be using the proper rep schemes and frequencies. You need to target the muscles that will actually benefit your joints. You need to move through the open pack position to open up the joint space, decrease friction and wear and tear. And you need to go slow, not low, use less weight, but concentrate. And I want you to use these concepts with every exercise you perform. In fact, all of this stuff should be incorporated into any intelligent workout regimen, but it rarely is. Quality is rare. In fact, I've yet to come across anyone who incorporates all this research into any therapeutic regimen. That's why I've created some easy to follow workouts on my website, ptrehabdoc.com. If you're working smart in a way that strengthens while simultaneously benefiting the health of your joints, then you're strengthening intelligently. Otherwise, you're just another guy at the gym who's going to experience injury after injury. And by the time you're 50 years old, you're going to feel 50 years old. So take my advice and strengthen, but do it wisely. Visit ptrehabdoc.com to find therapeutic workouts for the shoulder, neck, low back, hips, knees, and full body. And remember, if you're going to work out, do it in a way that helps you gain strength without sacrificing the health of your joints.